Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. 99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. We should all play a game and go, what is Steve watching on his computer, and see if we can guess. Because it's only going to be really one of two things.
And what are those two things, BJ?
Wrestling, or if it was February, it would be the new Rock Girl pictures, but it's not February. So.
Not yet, no. But we're getting around to that.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, he watches dog videos, too.
I do watch dog videos.
He's watching old school. Is that the Hulkster? That the Hulk
Yeah,
Maniac?
I'm watching Hulk Hogan versus Ted DiBiase. It was Hogan's debut back in 1979 when Hogan was a bad guy.
Wow.
It relaxes me when we're on a break. I like to just watch wrestling matches.
Gosh, dude, he is completely young with all his mane.
Full head of hair.
Wow.
Not a skullet.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts.
And the $1 Million Man's the good guy in this match, and Hogan's the bad guy.
Weird.
He wasn't the $1 Million Man. He was just Ted DiBiase.
Damn, dude. Boy, that's something. That is back in the day. Yeah, look at that. He did have quite a mane of hair.
Yeah.
He really did.
It's okay. I was going to put my money on porn, so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I do that in the office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
not
weird.
really,
It's weird being amongst my friends with a stiffy, you know? I mean, I'd be odd.
Well, the one thing you may not be able to do.
Oh, wait, that happens when I watch wrestling too, right, guys? Hey!
Wow. Getting the A material today, baby.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, you know what you won't be able to watch, Steve?
What's that?
Might not be able to watch Netflix unless you pay for it yourself.
See, this story I know is freaking out everybody else. This story does not bother me one bit because I pay for the things that I want.
Yeah.
The services that I get, I'm paying for. I'm not hopping on somebody else's password and username.
Oh, look, Mr. Fancy over here.
No, because I knew one day this could happen.
But I'll tell you though, there is a big problem when
I'm
it
too
comes.
lazy to ask someone's password.
Okay, there you go.
There is a big problem when it comes to the fact that a buddy of mine was just telling me about a show that I should be watching that's on another brand new app that it's like for one show. I just can't see continually spending money for one show.
Right.
It's frustrating as all hell. It's like, couldn't there be something where every show that we would want to watch and I pay for is a company that would put them all together for me? What's that called? Oh yeah, cable.
But even that, people will complain. I want to just watch this Showtime show, but I have the plan that only has HBO. Why can't they all just be? You know what I mean? Like no one's ever happy. They're not going to have every show on one network that's going to just please just BJ.
Well, Netflix says they're losing an estimated $400 million per year.
Wow!
Thanks to people that share their login info. Now,
which I don't know. That's an inflated number because think of some people who have like your username and password. If they didn't have it, they wouldn't get Netflix. You know what I mean? Some people, they'll do it because, you're giving me your password. Sure, I'll watch it. But if you didn't give me the password, I'm not going to order it on my own.
That's true. As much as I love this, I mean, I like a couple of shows, Handmaid's Tale and also Runaways. Those are the only two reasons because I had Hulu. I canceled it because there's just not enough on here for me. I would not get Hulu again for those two shows. So it's like Rev and I have a deal. He wouldn't watch Star Trek Discovery if I didn't give him mine.
Right.
So like you said, I don't think anybody's losing out because we wouldn't get it.
Yep.
Yeah, we will talk about it and we're in the media. So I look at it like, you know what?
I like that you're justifying your criminal behavior.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I know it's wrong, and at the same time, the music industry has been happy to say, hey, here's my record if you'll talk about it, which we do.
Yeah, then what happened? Napster. People just thought, I'm entitled to this art that somebody spent a lot of time and money on, and I'm going to take it for free.
I agree. The average person shouldn't do it, but me.
But you, the radio professional.
I'm in the media.
Yep.
Yeah. And I pay for a lot as it is anyway. I mean, I do have a lot of services, so it's not like I'm a...
You're starting to sound like my heel wrestling persona, local celebrity, BJ Shea.
Yeah, you're right. So Netflix has been pretty lenient when it comes to this, but there's a chance things could change in the near future thanks to a UK-based software maker. They came up with a way to crack down on password sharing.
This guy. He was probably the guy back in high school. It's like, professor, do we have any homework that we need to do tomorrow?
Yeah. And we could have seen this guy last year, Steve. He went to see CES, and he's at CES this year.
CES is happening right now.
Yeah.
And Stephanie McMahon was there.
Oh, dude, we went the wrong year.
I think Snoop Dogg is there.
Wow, we really went the wrong year.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy. So basically, his new tech will show when folks are being bad and sharing their password.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're going to try and... are they going to crack down on it?
Yeah, they're going to be able to find out who basically, where it's all happening, and I guess eventually they're going to come out with a way to make that not happen. But what about, like, family members that don't live with you? I mean, like, my son, I let him have all my passwords because, I mean, he's my family.
Well, then don't they have, like, family plans? Because I know, like, with Apple Music, we have it. And originally we were like, oh, we'll just share it. But, you know, with the music streaming ones, I know Spotify was like that, too. If one person's using it, then that disables the other person from using it at that moment. So we're like, all right, why don't we just pony up the extra $3 or $4 a month? So instead of $9.99, it's like $13.99. And then we could have multiple people using it in our family plan.
Well, I know I've got profiles on Netflix. My wife has a profile, I have a profile, and so does Joey D.
So I think that's fine.
That's what I mean. So I think that's so they're assuming that everyone's going to be using it.
So what you need to do is have the ref change his last name.
Well, we already, I mean, with like the Hulu thing, Vicky has her own account of mine, basically, so her weird shows don't mingle with my weird shows.
And I mess up her account because I felt like that would flag it, Rev. If I made an account, I thought, okay, what if that flags it? So I just
we're all just one weird family. We don't need to worry about it.
Hey, one person says I pay Netflix based on how many devices I have. So if I pay for one extra device to give it to my neighbor, what's the problem? Which is a very good point.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. You're right. If it's device based, what's the big issue? Because you're right. I think Apple's the same way. Like with my Apple stuff, I can only have so many devices.
Which then, in that sense, I don't think it's a big deal because then it's up to the person. Hey, if you want to pay $9.99 a month and let your neighbor get it for free, that's up to you.
Yeah, if
it falls under the number of devices that you're allowed.
Yeah.
One person says this guy sounds like the type to call the cops on his dad for not wearing a seatbelt. Yeah, I don't get why that guy made this.
And not for
this
nothing.
Technology.
I think Netflix they look bad.
But they're not doing anything right now.
No, but they're basically saying, here, we're losing all this money. And like you said, are you really? Come on, Netflix. Really? You see, it's like you're going to turn into those guys because everybody loves Netflix. But if they start turning into what they complained a cable company used to be, come on.
I think they're freaking out because they have a lot of Disney Channel movies, shows, and everything. And then Disney's going to be taking all that away when they make their own streaming service in a couple of years. So I'm wondering if they're just like, we need all the money we can get.
Well, yeah, and DC has their own app now, and I mean, there's a show on there right now that my buddy said you got to be watching. I go, dude, I just can't pay for another app just for one damn show.
Dude, it's like that in the world of wrestling too. Obviously, I subscribe to the WWE Network for $9.99 a month, but then I'm a fan of New Japan Wrestling. But I'm like, do I really need to then drop another $10 a month on that one, and then I got $4 a month on this other one for an indie promotion? It does get a little.
Besides,
you start going broke because of what you love to watch.
Yeah. Besides, you got to save your money.
Why is that?
Oh, dude, have you seen what they put out at CES? Samsung? Dude.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, baby. The new massive 219-inch television. Yes, I want it!
I bet it in my bar.
And there's a picture, Steve. Look at how big this bad boy is.
219-inch?
It measures more than 18 feet. It's dubbed the Wall. Sorry, Pink Floyd.
Oh, I don't have to worry about buying that then. I'll just have Mexico buy it for me.
Oh, jeez. Today I'm telling you, Steve is on fuego today.
No, that's me.
Damn.
Wrong.
I wonder if it was inspired by How I Met Your Mother. Remember Barney has the where he's like, oh, you don't have a TV, and then he's like, you see that wall over there, and he turns it on.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
I got in Japan,
dude. His apartment was the best.
Right,
I forgot all about that.
You're absolutely right. Barney had the joint. That was and I was like, man, I'm not going to be half the player he is, but I do want that wall TV.
I don't know if I have a wall that can accommodate that in my house.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I would build one, and like you said, I would get Mexico to pay for it. I will build a wall. That's what you know. What the president's going about this all wrong. If he says he's going to have us build a wall so we can have TVs on it, then maybe we would all be fine.
Wow.
At that point, you should just put it on the ceiling.
Yeah, like I have one wall in our living room, but then I'd have to restructure my entire living room.
Vicky, if I put on the ceiling, where do I put the mirror?
You don't want to see that.
That's right. Things are happening.
You got to get the closet mirrors.
All right. I got those too, actually.
That seems a little excessive. I don't think my living room... Get out of this room! I'm fine with my 40-inch.
Jeez. Yeah? Well, let's see what your wife thinks.
What?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed, Dan.
Yeah, I bet your wife wants much more than a 40-inch, Steve.
What would you want to watch on something like that? Because it would be fun.
Everything.
I know, but like, what would be your number one thing? Because I think I'd want to watch, I'd want to get that in time for a Seahawks game and watch football on that.
Dude, I just wrapped up.
Or wrestling, because then it would look like I'd be the same size as the wrestlers.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I'd stand next to them.
4K, a 4K situation like any science fiction show. Like I just watched Night Flyers, which had some really cool space effects. Oh, I could imagine just sit there and just get all in that.
What about adult movies? That would be a little much.
Oh, that's scary, dude.
That's a lot much.
That's like, Jack and the Beanstalk porn.
Yeah.
Right. Although it'd be a funny picture. You could take a picture like a selfie and that person's package is the same size as your entire body.
Or you could actually put your, maybe your face in a strategic place.
Oh, my Snapchat would be on fire.
Oh, yeah. Now all of a sudden Steve sees a purpose for a 219-inch television. I don't have any idea how much it will cost.
Somebody says it's going to cost $100,000. What? That's according to this texter. I can't imagine.
Well, come on, Samsung. You got to bring the price down. It can't be $100,000.
Yeah, give it a couple years. It'll be about $80,000.
I cannot wait. I would make a wall television. Matter of fact, I could redo some stuff in my house, and my wife isn't there anymore, and she got home. If she came home and just saw that,
what the hell is that, BJ?
I turned an entire wall that was supposed to be like for all of her tchotchkes and stuff, and I just made it the TV wall. That'd be so
Well, what
awesome.
about doing the thing where some people do? They get the projection screen, and then they just use the wall as the projector.
Right.
Yeah.
But this here will be sharper. I mean, that's the trouble with a lot of, those projectors. You've got to get a super powerful bulb to really make it as sharp as, a TV. And this is a TV, so it's going to be super sharp.
Gosh, I sometimes I love the textures.
What they say?
This just shows the world that we're in.
Okay.
PJ. This is and it's multiple people. You have one silly joke about the wall,
yes.
right? Idiots. You keep political out of the show, or I and many others will sure stop listening. Bye.
Oh, come on, guys.
That's the sadness that we're in right now. You can't even crack a joke.
Yeah, we didn't.
I don't even know which side this person's on. You can easily say that they're on left or right.
Come on, guys.
Based on this, can the people who freak out about that stop being so damn sensitive?
We need to laugh. We need to laugh at what's going on in the world.
I can't believe you made a wall joke.
I will get political for a second by telling you right now, there's a lot of folks that I know that right now are not getting a goddamn paycheck because of the situation. I'm not saying it's right or wrong as far as about wall or no wall. I'm just saying there are people being impacted because of this debate. So why don't you go F yourself like it's a tough time? Seriously. How about people not getting paid, but they're still doing their jobs? Like you go to the airport making sure no bad guys are trying to hurt us.
Stop listening.
Well, I'm not even taking sides about it. I'm just saying that.
Idiot.
Yeah. We're trying to put a little smile on the face of people. We didn't say yay or nay to anything politically. We just made a joke because that's in the news. Right now, the wall is in the news. We're not saying it's right or wrong to have a wall.
So funny how knee-jerk people get.
Jesus, stop it.
The Rock did you see what The Rock just did? I don't know. You're big into the Daily Mail.
What did he do?
He was just saying how people need to be stop being such pansy asses.
Oh, really?
About things, getting all sensitive and upset about every single thing. Yeah, and I think that applies to both sides.
That's an issue. We talked
Extreme
about that.
on both sides are some of the most insufferable people I've ever met.
Yeah, thin skindrome is an issue. It really, really is. We are. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to bring it up. I am going to say this.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Idiots.
Okay, Steve, there is a game that is a very successful game that I like to play.
Duck, Duck, Goose.
It's called Secret Hitler. It was a Kickstarter game that was massively successful. It's a joke game where you basically play as fascists or you play as liberals. And it's like the good guys trying to outwit the bad guys or the bad guys trying to outwit the good guys. It's a social deduction game, secret identity. The idea, though, the name of the game has pissed off so many people that the convention I'm going to, we're not allowed to bring it.
Oh.
It doesn't even have Hitler in the game. It's got little lizards.
Yeah.
It's like, and everybody in the board game community knows that actually this game is really not about that, but it's just about, hey, by the way, there was something really bad happened in history. Don't forget that. And by the way, it's a game. It's banned. You know what else is banned? Cards Against Humanity, I heard, is banned at this convention. And that's a fun game when we're all adults. I can't
Is it all adults at this convention?
For the most part, there are. If there are children, people usually are smart enough not to play with children around. You know what I mean?
I think so, too.
And this is the first time I've heard of this. I've never been to a con where either one of these games are banned, and I blame it on thin skindrome. I'm like, Come on, people. Yes, we should be kind to each other. We should be nice to each other. We should be reasonable. We have to be reasonable on both sides. We can't just be knee-jerk like this. We are all a bunch of babies, and we have no tolerance for anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because it falls in line with what The Rock is talking about with Dwayne Johnson, or DJ, as they say on that Titan Games. And he says that people are just easily offended, and those type of people that get easily offended by everything are putting society backwards.
By the way, my friend, and I don't know, we are getting closer to fascism when we edit like this, when we edit everything. When we get so intolerable, that's pretty much you can't do anything anymore.
He said, so many good people fought for freedom and equality, but this generation, they're looking for a reason to be offended. If you're not agreeing with them, then you're offended. And it's not what so many great men and women fought for. We thankfully now live in a world that has progressed over the last 30 or 40 years. People can be who they want, with who they want, and live how they want. That can only be a good thing. But generation, snowflake, or whatever you want to call them, they're actually putting people backwards.
It's true. It's very, very true. And, it's not until you get affected that you're going to go, oh, wow. And it's amazing until somebody is told they're offensive. And I already know some people who are in what you would call, let's just say minority classes where you would think they would never, ever be offensive because they're the ones that were always treated badly. Now, some of those folks, some of my friends, I've got a gay friend who was recently told that he was offensive and narrow-minded and racist. And I mean, he was, I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, how is that possible? He said, I know. He said, it is so intolerable now. He says, these younger people are saying that the most ridiculous thing is offensive. And he says, and I'm the guy that fought to have everybody get along with everybody. And now they're telling me I'm a bad guy. And it was like, yeah, you should get a pass because of everything you've gone through. How can anybody say you're offensive? And this is what's happening. The littlest thing. It's nuts.
It is interesting how certain thing, a quick little one person's name can trigger somebody to get angry. And it's like, man, what's going on in your world that just makes you so angry, and why?
And you know what went on.
Chill, people.
And let me tell you, this is affected on a professional level. You saw what happened at Q13.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, it's for the very same reason, because some people have opinions and they forget that your job is supposed to be journalistic integrity. And again, please, we're not making a political statement, but this is in the news. And we're not taking sides, except I will take this side. If you're a professional, you have to act like a professional.
Yeah. And now, do you think the person, so the story that I saw was that someone on Q13, they accidentally or intentionally, but they basically took a video of Donald Trump that was doctored.
Yes.
And put it up as a story. And people are like, no, that's not the actual real video. Now there's video showing side by side what the real video looked like and what the other one. So that person that posted that video on their news site or on their broadcast got fired.
Yes, it made so the video made it look like if Trump was sticking his tongue out between sentences, and it made him look more orange.
I gotta be honest, though. I understand why this is not a good thing to do, but I kept watching the tongue thing, and the tongue thing just kept making me laugh.
Well, of course.
But I don't work for a news agency.
Look, if you want to show that to somebody, that's funny. I don't care. You show whatever you want to somebody, but when you broadcast it like that,
I love when people take whatever video it is. It could be a debate, it could be a baseball game, it could be a wrestling thing. But when they take the Snapchat filters and they put they add the filters to the person's face, I'll always laugh at those things.
So, of course, Q13 had to fire the person. And you know what irritates me? I want to tell you what irritates me.
Do you think that they were oblivious to it and they just grabbed footage and they thought, well, this is the right footage? Or do you think the person knew that was a goof and said, oh, I'm going to slide that in?
According to this article, they don't know. They don't know if it's the same person or not. Like, they don't even know if the same person who doctored the video was the same person that actually put it up. So you may be right that somebody could have accidentally grabbed it.
How do they not know? Can't they ask these questions?
Well, that's the thing. By the way, they don't name the person, as far as I can tell from this article. Which
really even knows the person's name, though.
It still irritates me because, when other people like us get in trouble, and we have a friend of ours that got in trouble recently, and they had no problem splattering his name everywhere when I feel like you should name somebody who's being an idiot.
I understand what you're saying.
Because they do it for everybody else. It's like, come on.
But if it was Aaron Levine that did it, his name would be brought up. It's somebody behind the scenes.
Aaron Levine. He's the reason why the Seahawks lost. I'll tell you that. How come they haven't fired him yet?
But it's not. But if it's somebody that nobody even knows who they are, it's probably like, well, adding their name is not going to really matter.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But it's
if
just
like Bob in accounting did something that got us in trouble, nobody's going to care about Bob in accounting. They're going to care about you saying it.
I'm going to rake Bob over the coals. Let me tell you, if he gets in trouble. You're right, Steve. I suppose because it's obviously somebody nobody knows. Therefore, what's the point? And by the way, that was a joke about Aaron Levine. Please, we love Aaron. Are we in trouble for that, Steve? Because we brought this story up, and I don't think we're taking sides.
It
should be professional, is what I'm saying.
I don't disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, no matter what you think.
If they did it intentionally, that's a dumb move. You're basically writing your resignation letter.
No doubt about it. And again, it's because if that's the case, because somebody is so butthurt and such thin-skinned room. We've had a lot of presidents in this country that I know I haven't agreed with, and people have really been angry about. But to this level,
and we've had every president's been goofed on.
Oh yeah, every single one of them.
It's just because this is the one that you have a certain feeling towards. Now all of a sudden, everything's funny until it affects you.
Yeah. You got to lighten up. You really, really have to lighten up. And you know what? I will tell you this. Don't fall for it. My God, you guys still fall for the fact that the D's and the R's are on opposite teams. Do you realize they're all on the same team and they laugh at you extremists because they're making tons of money off of you because you believe the crap they tell you, both sides? Don't you know it's a big shell game and it's all fake? Do you not know that? I mean, honestly, I really look at people and go, do you not know that it's all fake? It's worse than wrestling. And Steve, I don't mean to besmirch wrestling.
Still real to me, damn it.
Okay. I mean, really, there's no sides here. All those politicians are laughing at your expense because they see how much you believe the crap they tell you when they go, the other side's the bad guy. Don't you understand who's getting effed? You are. Oh, wow. Well, even Ed McMahon from the grave had something to say.
And Marshawn Lynch.
And Marshawn Lynch both had something to say. All right. Well, we went on way too long. I blame Danny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny.
Oh, me.
Why didn't you tell us to break?
You're welcome.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Steve. I don't even know if we're going to... Should we even go back? Should we just start? I mean, should we even bother breaking? All right. What happens when someone goes on social media looking for a babysitter so that she can go out and get wasted? Oh, yeah.
Sounds responsible to me.
Very responsible. Another edition of Facebook Drama. You're going to hear it at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Oh, man. I forgot there are three things that Steve likes to watch. He likes to watch, of course, the Rock Girls. He likes to watch wrestling.
Yes.
He's also really watching a lot of NHL news because, of course, we're getting a team here in Seattle.
Definitely not watching a lot of Devils hockey.
No, that's for sure. Yeah,
I cannot get more excited for a new team.
Yeah.
A team that might be fun to watch.
Yeah, we got awarded an NHL franchise, and they got awarded a minor league franchise.
They will have a better record than the Devils in the first season.
And to celebrate pro hockey coming to Seattle, guess what? Get your own KISW hockey jersey today. The jerseys are customizable. You can get your name, your number, your choice on the jersey. Oh, yeah, it's pretty awesome. You want one? Just go to KISW.com. Get one today.
Now, it's time for Facebook Drama.
And Facebook Drama is our opportunity to point out the morons that are on Facebook. This is an actual Facebook post. The drama unfolds because of it. And yes, BJ, we're going to act it out. So this time around, I'll play the role of the original poster. I will be Claire. Vicky, you will be Kay.
Woo!
Rev, you will be Jeremy. Sweet. BJ, you're Josh.
Yeah!
And Sarah, you will play Joseph.
Oh, hey.
All right, so Claire's the original poster, so I'll start things off. Anyone want to babysit little Sebastian tonight? I'm trying to get lit.
I would sew for you, girl, but I already have plans. Next time.
Maybe you shouldn't ask for a babysitter just to get lit. SMH.
Why not? It's the truth. I'm trying to get effed up. Might as well be upfront about it.
Maybe you should just actually stay home with your kid and take care of him rather than get lit.
Every mom needs a day off, and it's been a while since I had one. Give mama a break.
Didn't you just have Sebastian?
No. He's almost 3 months old. I've been home the entire time. Mama needs a drink.
OMG, stop wanting to get lit and stay home with your newborn.
I can see if my mom will watch him. I'm down to get S-faced.
Dope.
The two of you are dopes.
You want to get lit?
Nah, I don't want to get lit.
I want to get lit. Let's get lit.
Let's get lit.
This is
Party.
The trouble is I really feel like there have been people like Claire I've known in my life. They just,
had Facebook at the time.
They would just be, and they would drink at home. They didn't care. They got a newborn, they'd just be getting trashed while the newborn was there.
I think my favorite is, didn't you just have the kid? No, it was 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's not, I didn't just
I was almost about ready to start talking and walking.
Think about 3 months and then the 9 months that she had before having the child, carrying it. So that's almost a year of not drinking and not getting lit.
I'll tell you this, though. I can't throw stones. I think my wife went to Italy 3 months after she had Sarah.
Oh, party.
Yeah, she was like,
without you?
Without me. She was like, I had this kid.
Some of that Vienna sausage.
I had this kid. I'm going to get some Vienna sausage. And I'm like, well, dude, you're breastfeeding her. How are we going to do this? And
did she leave you a bunch of milk?
Yeah, she left supposedly a supply. She pumped like a Mo, so that we had a week's supply or whatever.
So she was gone for a week?
Yeah.
She went to Italy. How soon after Sarah was born?
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why Sarah's the way she is.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, the chick did kind of sound trashy, but I think one night out, like, and when the kid's 3 months old, it's not that big a deal. Like, when kids, they just sleep and eat. If you have somebody that's watching them and feeding them, it's all that matters.
That's because Vicky wants to watch everybody's baby.
Well, like, we've been taking care of this little kid.
What do you do? You get wasted or you get lit, as this lady would say. Do you go home and then be in the house? What if something happens overnight? Do you make sure that somebody's still around to handle things while you're still drunk and asleep? Okay. Fair enough. That's fine.
There's like the designated baby keeper.
The baby keeper.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You got to find a Vicky. See, Vicky will take care of anybody's baby.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody want to get lit? Vicky will take care of your baby.
Mm-hmm.
Will I give it back? Probably not. So that's just a risk you might have.
You really are the hand that rocks the cradle. It's about at some point we're going to have a news story on Q13. Victoria B was still it was caught running with somebody's child and not coming back. Amber alert.
They open up her home. You know how like some people are like cat hoarders. There's like cats everywhere. There's just like babies everywhere.
Just crawling on everything, vomit everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Formula powder just in the air.
Just lovely. Yeah. Got a new study out of the U of R, which would be what we call it in New York, the University of Rochester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I've lived in New York. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's because you don't live in Rochester, buddy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's what we did. So here's the thing. I am right. That's what this study basically just said.
What?
Okay, I'm right.
About what?
About what? Pretty much everything, but we'll get away. There's too many studies that come out on everything I talk about.
That's just the headline. BJ is right.
But anybody that's listened to this show for a long time, you're going to know. They're saying at the University of Rochester, having sex at first sight can actually lead to a stronger relationship. Have I not said? First thing you should do is get the sex out of the way.
Yes, you have.
I have.
Yeah, you have.
Our university says I'm right.
That's why the relationship with you and Danny has worked out so quickly.
Yeah, we got that right out.
We got banged at that interview.
Yeah.
Danny started crying. Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously, I felt like I did have sex with because he was crying so much. I felt like there was sex.
Typically, after sex, a lot of women cry when they're with you. Okay.
It really did. His state of mind and the way he was, I thought, wow, it's like I really just had my normal encounter. Okay.
And I talked a lot, and you guys all fell asleep.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Well, it's also because of all the meat we ingested.
That's true.
Excuse me?
I thought that. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna try to do the biology on this one. So you want to know why I'm right?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Turns out the university found out that having sex at first sight, there's more of a link between sexual attraction and emotional bonding than people realize. So when you have sex with someone, it builds and strengthens your bond with them. Now you know. Of course, we found out that kissing is just a way to see if our immune systems are compatible. Did you guys remember that story?
Yeah, I remember thinking it was stupid then, and I still think it's stupid now.
Why do you think that science is stupid? I don't understand. Every time we have science talk, you think it's stupid.
Because I don't understand it.
Well, you know what?
All right, then. Congratulations.
You know what? You're like Ricky. Ricky has no brain from the Trailer Park Boys, so therefore he thinks everything he doesn't understand is stupid. All right, Ricky.
That's right.
I'm with you.
That pretty much does sum up my life.
It really does.
If I don't get it, it's stupid.
You are the Ricky of this show.
At no point have I ever kissed a woman going, I hope my immune system works out well with this one.
But have you ever kissed somebody and it didn't go well, and you've kissed others and it's just been amazing?
Yeah, some kiss better than others.
We think that's love, and they're saying, no, that's like, our bodies are saying, hey, this is a perfect person immune-wise.
I've never said that I think it's love. If I'm like back in my single days and I started kissing somebody, it's not like, the kiss was good, that's love. It was, the kiss is good, that person knows how to use their tongue.
Well, a lot of people, and a lot of them are women. A lot of people, they do tie a lot to a kiss. Like they go, you know what? I knew he was the one. The way he kissed me. You've heard that before,
sure. But nobody has anyone ever said I kissed someone just to see if whether or not I won't get sick when I kiss?
Well, no,
I don't understand this whole immune.
Nobody knew about that. It's something that's recently been discovered, or at least recently been shared by scientists. When we found the story, I never heard of it prior to that story.
Probably never even got laid, and we're supposed to trust them when it comes to kissing.
There we go.
Wow.
That's fine. I have thin skin, and I'm offended. Yeah. So there you go. Now you know, have sex with somebody right off the bat, because first of all, you'll know if it's bad sex. You'll go, all right, well, we're done. We don't need to be part of this.
Well, and I think your logic behind it does make sense. That, hey, let's get past the whole lust moment of, man, I'm doing everything in my power to accommodate and be with this person because you want to know what it's like that to make sweet love to them. And then when that happens, all of a sudden that quest is done, and then all of a sudden maybe you're noticing the flaws that you don't like in that person. Why not get the sex out of the way? If you think this is somebody that you might want to be with, get the sex out of the way, and then just kind of move forward from there.
I feel like that's the new way of dating, and that's kind of how I've done it with most guys I've dated.
So sex first, then get their number and find out what their last name is?
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Seems right.
Oh, it's so true. I mean, I've seen Vicky with so many men, and I don't even know their name. I don't think
she knows their name.
Yeah,
I know their first name, I think.
It's really... Yeah. But it seems to be the way to go, and, well, here's the proof. Vicky's not with any of them, so they weren't the right one.
Nope. Sometimes the sex is just that bad.
Do you know people, though, I mean, months and months of relationships with somebody, and they don't know yet because they just, I mean, whatever, they don't have a lot of sex or they don't talk about it. I mean, it's just like, you got to address that elephant in the room right off the bat and go, dude, you're not, it's not working.
Let me see that trunk.
Yeah, that trunk's not working for me.
Have you been with somebody that you really dug as a person? Like you really got into them and like, you're like, this person's great, the sex was bad. Would you consider maybe I just need to teach them the way?
There's some things they just can't change about them.
No?
Well,
you
one
can
guy...
teach someone how to bang better.
You can't teach someone to grow something.
Okay, that's a good point. Well, actually, there are pumps for that.
They don't work.
Well, and I know what Vicky means. I mean, look, and Vicky's not unreasonable. It's just
no. If this was,
yeah. I mean, if it was micro, that's a problem. And I mean, what are you going to do?
Micro minis.
And it sucked because like we had talked for hours and hours leading up to the sex part. I was like, this guy's amazing. He's great. We're getting along super well. I really.
You guys have dirty talk?
No, we weren't even doing dirty talk.
I was just curious if maybe it was like he was pumping the tires on that more than he should have.
Dude, it was great because the second, you kind of do the sexy moves, guys put your hand over her shoulder. I'm kind of like putting my hand on his thigh. That's usually where you kind of go in for the kill, if you will, to kind of see what you're working with. Mm-hmm. The second I put my hand on his thigh, he whispers under his breath, "I'm sorry."
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, what is he talking about? And then I'm like, where is it?
It's not there.
And I'm like, oh.
Wait, so if this is...
that's a horrible thing to have to say. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at a highlighter.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are we going?
Probably there.
Wow. At its happiest state?
Yeah.
Oh,
he tried his damnedest, so I'm like, I feel bad for the guy, so I just pretended. I'm like, yeah, you were the best ever.
That's like a AA battery and a half.
Yeah. He's married now, so good for him, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean look,
he
found somebody that was like, you know what, you're a cool enough dude, and this is fine.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, this is fine for me. This will work. And if he has a kid, you'll know that it works enough that he can get, that stuff can get done.
It's like he found his glass slipper.
Dude,
what, do you think it's too small that the swim team can't get to where it needs to go?
Exactly. I mean, if the diving board's
we need a longer diving board, sir.
If the diving board's not big enough, you might have to go get some help. You might have to get the baster, is all I'm saying.
Okay, so that would be a deal breaker. I can understand that. Because
and what Vicky showed us is really not, I mean, I think that's just a deformity almost.
I think so.
I think that's a little...
No, well, you show me again, Vicky, because I think he didn't see it right.
It was right where they remove the cap.
Remove the cap.
That's there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not horrible.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Oh. I mean, but it's not...
Oh wow, Vicky!
Wasn't that? Let me see.
No,
I gotta remember.
Yeah, you gotta remember. Hold on, because I feel like
I'm like trying to remember how it was in my hand. I think it was before the cap, so right about there.
Wow. Oh yeah. Jesus. Okay.
Now it's about the size of a AA battery.
Yeah. See, that's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Now we've gotten to the bottom. Okay. What if now they're packing a substantial, an acceptable amount? Okay. And they're bad at sex. But they're an awesome person. Would you stay with them? With hopes of being able to turn them into a better lovemaker?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like if I'm getting along with them.
Now, Danny, you were shaking your head no.
Yeah.
So if the person's bad at getting it on, you would not even want to help them get better at it.
I just have learned that, like, normally if you do not vibe with somebody sexually, it just doesn't ever work.
Do you give them a second chance? Because sometimes you get nervous.
Oh, yeah,
There's that weird one, you know.
I'll give them many chances, but I'm just saying, like, usually if they're not into the same things that I'm into, that you can't teach that. Even if you try and even if you have that conversation, a lot of times it just doesn't work. Like, I don't know. That's been my
I
experience.
think it's easier to train a guy than it is to train a girl.
And you guys are able to do that. When I went back when I was dating, and we're talking 100 years ago, there was just ignorance. You know, you didn't know how good somebody could be because we didn't have any information. Like, we heard about the things. We should try this. And I mean, think about this. There's certain activities that are fun that you go, we should try this. We both did not know how to do it because there was nothing. There was no books or anything. But we heard about it. Hey, we heard that, you know what, well, let's say Steve's favorite number. We heard about Steve's favorite number, but we both didn't know we were doing it. We were just looked at each other and said, I have no idea. Did you know what? She said, I don't know. And I'm like, I really don't know either.
Right.
And we just looked at each other like, why do people say this is good? Now, I'm at the age I'm at now.
Why are these people without arms or legs?
Yeah. And I realize now, I'm like, wow, we were just ignorant. We had no clue, neither one of us. Whereas you educated me, and I'm sure somebody educated her. But I remember thinking, but I know what Danny's saying. There was one girl I was with. It just didn't seem like there was any life force. It didn't seem like she cared, you know. And I thought, well, you know, I can't be with somebody.
You should have paid her more, BJ. In all fairness.
Well, dude, listen, I was a college student. She should have realized I was on a limited budget. That should be understood, Steve. College discount. When you offer a college discount, don't give me bad service.
Right, Groupon.
Come on. Hey, I want to ask you guys something because, Steve, I know someday this world, unfortunately, is going to have to deal with you being a father. And
let's hope, right?
Yeah.
The world would be a better place.
Better place. Of course, we've got Danny.
Yeah.
I don't know about Rev. We've never talked if Rev is. I mean, he's got his cats, but I mean, who knows? Maybe someday, accidentally, he might, become a father. I don't know. How would you feel if a friend steals your kids' names?
It's funny you say that because there's certain names that we have that we've kind of like we see eye to eye on if we have a kid, a boy, we see eye to eye on the boy's name, and I won't say what it is for that reason.
I was going to ask,
because you don't want someone to take it.
Well, I mean, it's Aloysius, of course. No.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Tang.
There's certain, because I've had this happen, and it has nothing to do with kids, but it's so weird when somebody seems to be taking things that you have as an idea or things that you're into and almost adopting them as their own.
Yeah.
You're just like, man, find your own path. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew this dude had a certain car. He ended up getting the exact same car and made it a point to say, I'm not getting it because you have it. I'm like, well, why even bring that up?
Yeah, then it means you are.
Then got a tattoo that was just like a tattoo I have.
I'm not getting it because you have it.
Said that as well. He's like, I know you have something just like that, but I'm not doing it. And then finally I got to a point where I'm like, there were a few other little things. And at first it didn't really bother me, but then the more it went on, I'm like, dude, find your own way.
Yeah, come on.
So almost I feel the same way with the kid name thing. I wouldn't be mad at somebody, but it would be kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I'd like to say that I wouldn't freak out over something like that, but I got mad at somebody for copying and pasting my Facebook status one time. The exact same thing. And I was like, I'm sitting there next to my wife, and I was like, this guy he could have clicked it and shared it.
Oh, he's not going to share it. He wants to be the guy.
Yeah, but then he wants my likes. And it was just kind of just a dumb little thing, but it was the exact same sentence at the bottom. And I was like, dude, he's stealing my status.
Leave it to Rev to compare a baby and a Facebook status.
A status that, based on the algorithms, not everyone's going to see.
Yeah.
But the baby, everyone will see.
Yeah. I can't imagine what I would do with the kid thing. I really can't.
Did the Rev just say somebody wanted his life?
Likes.
Oh, okay.
Get on it.
And everyone wants my life. Thank you. Hello, I've got two awesome cats in a steampunk bar.
We kept it a secret.
He says that like he's proud. Okay.
We kept Lily's name a secret until she was born.
For that fear?
For that fear.
Really?
Because
Is that funny?
I have a big family.
And it's a
on my
good
side.
old school name, by the way. I mean, really, considering you don't hear a lot of Lilies anymore. I love that.
No, it's true, but we didn't. I have a lot.
Lily Tomlin.
She's an exception.
She's super old, dude.
Evangeline Lilly.
That's her last name, but yes.
My niece Lily.
Okay, see, and you stole that from Danny.
Yeah, you did.
I named her because of that.
Well, we had a lot of cousins that were having babies around the same time. And I was like, no, we're not going to put it out there. Because if it happens by accident, that's one thing. But if we're like, hey, yeah, we're naming our baby Lily, and then they have the baby first and the name's Lily, it would be like, guys, come on. So, yeah, we didn't.
It really sucks when there's like a pop culture name that you really, really want. Like my friend has a 5-year-old, and his name is Logan James, which is Wolverine's name.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
In the comics. And I'm like, okay, if I ever have a son, I'm going to name my son Logan James. The first name, middle name, cool. But my friend has like the exact same name for her kid, and it's like I can't do it.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to give your kid a real name and not base it on a comic book.
Yeah.
Go Peter Parker.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Dude, listen,
actually,
it
I want to
happens.
have 2 boys, one named Peter and Parker. So when I call them for dinner, I'm like, Peter, Parker, dinner.
Or you could have your 2 kids and name them Thanos and Dust.
No.
Okay, we should sterilize both of you. I'm sorry. We
How
just
is
can't.
that bad?
Oh,
they're cool
God.
names. They're like old school solid names.
One person says we had a couple we knew and they took both of our kids' names for their kids. We quit hanging out after that.
Oh.
Another person, my best friend, does that to me all the time. He just bought the same motorcycle that I have.
Now, a woman just posted on Reddit that one of her best friends had a daughter, and a few months ago named her Nix, Nix, Nix Ryan. And the woman thought that was strange since her son's first name is Nix and her daughter's middle name is Ryan. Oh, that is interesting. But when she said to her friend, quote, wow, our kids share names, the friend said, quote, I didn't even realize it. Really? Come on, Nix Ryan, Nix, come on.
If they at least own up to it and say, hey, I was inspired by that, I think that would be less annoying. But when somebody tries to act like as if it was just a happy coincidence, and you're like, dude, the track record's showing that this is not a coincidence.
Plus, this woman who says, I didn't even realize it, has been part of her kids' lives. She was even there for the birth of both children. And she's saying, oh, I didn't realize that was their names. Yeah, okay. How about they're not friends anymore? The Reddit lady goes, you know what, we're not friends anymore just because of this whole naming thing. Of course, I mean, I don't know if guys would get that upset about it.
No.
Sometimes, I mean, in a way, I don't know, man. As a guy, I would think, oh, you think my name's cool that I picked for my kid? I kind of almost, I don't know how I'd be about it. I don't know if I'd be upset.
It's not like this. I mean, it's a little bit different than showing up wearing the same shirt. I think that when 2 guys see each other wearing the same shirt, you're like, dude, that's awesome. Whereas when women see that, they're like, what the F that bitch?
Yeah.
But I think kids is a little bit different than clothing.
Yeah, I guess with Joe and Sarah, if somebody named a kid Joe, I don't, because it's such a common name. But I suppose like Nix, but and Logan. I mean, I've known Logans long before Wolverine, so it's Thanos. Yeah, first of all, it's you name your kid Thanos. I'd be like, Rev, why would you do this?
Better or worse than Bishop Archimedes?
Yeah, there's that.
One text says my son's name is Evan, and then my friend named their son Ivan. That's kind of funny.
That's funny.
I like that.
Kind of cool because they could be best friends and do like a sitcom.
Evan and Ivan. Yeah, I mean, it's a variation. I don't mind variations. Are you okay with variations, Steve?
Sure.
Yeah, variations are good.
So he says you can't name your son Optimus Prime, Steve. How'd they know?
Yeah.
Optimus Prime would be pretty awesome.
I thought you were going to name your kid Hulk Hogan.
No, you can't.
No.
You can't name your kid Optimus.
I wouldn't name my kid Hulk. I'd go Randy Savage for Hulk Hogan or Roddy Piper.
Yeah, you have
There's plenty of other wrestlers I would name my
Piper's
kid.
actually a cool name.
Oh, Piper?
For a guy or a girl?
For a girl.
Okay.
Or even a guy middle name, maybe.
Okay, you know what? You really are not allowed to have children or now name children.
Oh, calm down.
Piper's not bad.
It's a girl name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a middle name. It sounds
Not for
like
a guy.
It sounds like a last name.
You're not allowed to name men.
It sounds like
or
a last
women
name.
or children.
Sounds like the crouchy old man has problems with cool names.
Yeah, no, it's a problem.
His voice.
I don't know. I don't know. It's
This
just
is
like,
when BJ talks. That's the voice in my
it's
head.
just when people do that to their kids and they give them these names that you go, they got to live with this. Like Moxie Frew was Crime Fighter. I love Penn Jillette, but it's like, come on, dude. She's got to live with that name. Really?
So he says, my husband and I named our son after Superman, Kal-El.
Again, look, I am a big comic book fan, but the kid's got to live with that name.
Cal's not a bad name.
Yeah, you're right. Cal's good. I guess Cal works. Yeah, he can get away with Cal.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I take that back. But you tell everybody what your middle name is. Now it's cool. But back, in my time, if I told everybody my name was Cal and my middle name was L and it was named after Superman, it just would have been more beatings. I would have got beaten up more.
Oh, that's funny. So there are trademarks now on baby names? They're named for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. All right, good. Name your kid Piper. And piss off Steve. Yeah, piss off Vicky and name him Logan Piper James Thanos.
Nice.
I think it'll piss you off more.
Yeah. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
What gland in the human body regulates...
Pituitary.
No.
Liver.
No. The liver gland.
Yeah, that's a gland.
Lungs.
No.
I don't even think you heard the whole question. I think
didn't.
You cut him off, so you don't even know what it was regulating.
Well, I only know one gland, so once I heard gland, I was just going to go with that one.
Yeah, thyroid was what we're looking for.
Now I know that.
You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 847 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I'm getting my wages garnished. Can bankruptcy help with that?
Absolutely. One of the big reasons people file bankruptcy is because they have a judgment or a lawsuit against them, or their wages are getting garnished, and so they can't pay their other regular ongoing bills. People sometimes think that you can't file bankruptcy once they have a judgment against them or once a garnishment has started, and that's not true. Filing bankruptcy will immediately stop any garnishment that you have going, except for child support, and stop your creditors from continuing on with garnishments of your bank account, your wages, and in most cases will discharge that liability through the bankruptcy process. And we can file a bankruptcy case for you usually the day you come in.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.